8 out of 10 restaurants will have the software called Petpooja, which is created and built by the Parthiv and his team.
We actually started selling that idea. Tomorrow, every source of order will always be on Petpooja.
So where did you see that the picking would be much better, or acceptance of your product would be better?
They were printing in 3 hours 2000 piece.
Okay.
Right? Which was through billing machine. That manual billing machine. They were only entering code 10, 108, enter. 102, enter.
But that is much easier.
Yes, exactly. But see, you have to imagine that was actually easier from a biller point of view. People actually complained a lot. They called me and Apurva personally and started even, abusing us.
What Petpooja looks like as of now? What is the size as of now? In terms of whatever you want to describe, then I will follow up with the question. And then maybe 3 to 5 years, how would you visualize?
You would see that AI story also playing out for us massively down the line, and which is going to be third phase of the growth. Right? For us, for a lot of these guys, if software nahi hoga, SaaS nahi hoga, it is going to be AI SaaS.
In your opinion, while sharing to a potential startup founder, what will be your advice? I am Mihir Joshi. We run a fund called GVFL Limited. It's a venture capital fund investing in startups. I have invested in more than 100 startups, interacted with more than thousands of entrepreneurs in past 15 years. While interacting with many of the entrepreneurs, seeing their journey from the smaller to much larger, in the process, many of them collapse as well. It's always a learning. It is always inspiring. And we felt that let those learning be discussed in public. We can take this learning to the public so that many of the startup entrepreneurs, many of the angel investors, many of the stakeholder could benefit out of it. The only purpose of this podcast is to take the learning to the next level. I always believed that being a venture capitalist, I always have an access to this learning. From morning to evening, we discuss with many of the founders, ins and out. Being insider of VC industry, I am privy to many of the things which generally is not talked in the market. Many of the startups. So when we talk with the fellow industry or a participant or the startups, out of 100 startup, maybe 90 startup fails. The reason of failure does not come to the market. And 10 startups which get successful are celebrated. And why not? Because they become the role model for many of the fellow young entrepreneurs to come into the market. So what we realized that let us talk in public. Let us be in a learning mode. The next decade is an opportunity. And many times jokingly we tell to ourselves that India is full of opportunities. But as well as India is full of problems. Startup entrepreneurs are only the people who solve these problems. So if India is full of problems, then why not we pick our own problem, solve it, make it big, and make a success. Today we have invited Parthiv. So Parthiv, I know you personally for quite some time. For viewers, maybe for 2 minutes. Parthiv run the largest software firm for a restaurant industry. So any of the restaurant, if you go and eat, maybe 8 out of 10 restaurant will have the software called Petpooja, which is created and built by the Parthiv and his team. So Parthiv, while we visualized maybe 10 years back, the restaurant industry without any software. But today, every restaurant, whether it's small, large, or mid-size, will have some software, and which automate software, which automate restaurant, and which make the restaurant connected to the world. So the point is, whether you have a food delivery at your home or you visit to the restaurant would be powered by the software called Petpooja. So Parthiv visualized this, struggled a lot, because explaining to the restaurant, making them use of a software product with integration is quite difficult, challenging. I am I witnessed this journey, but maybe we can interact. Um, uh, you can tell in your word how exactly the Petpooja now, and maybe then I can start with your journey.
Sure. So we actually saw this problem from a perspective of the bus ticketing industry. I actually worked with GVFL, as you know, in the past, and we saw that problem. Bus ticketing industry, typically Redbus and other guys, they were making the inventory online, and everybody can book on the same inventory, right? So everybody has a clear view of what is available at particular moment, right? That is how it was. We actually saw F&B industry would see the similar challenge. What we saw was there was an opportunity to digitize a lot of these outlets, restaurants. They were not using any software. Typically, when we were experimenting with some ideas in F&B industry, we saw for every order, you need to call them twice, delivery order. Or for every dine-in order, they need to struggle for at least four times between.
So which year you are talking about?
This was actually 2013 and 14.
Okay. So
Right.
10 years later.
Yes, 2013 and 14, we saw the same challenge. For every order, they need to go to kitchen. Then once again, they come back. So every time you call a waiter, you have to go to kitchen to give an order. You have to go to billing desk to give an order. Then they come back to you actually. So this was the challenge, right? This is how they were managing. So instead of 5 people, you are then requiring, let's say, 10 people or 15 people. That is how they were running overall operations. Obviously, technology helps, but you need to still explain them how it is going to solve, right? That was the first thing. And obviously, internet was very new. People were not comfortable with the cloud. Whatever software they were using were mostly standalone softwares, right? This is how the industry was. We saw that pain point that they have to come to cloud. One major reason was they have to connect their software to outside world. So let's say today we assume that there are so many sources of orders, right? At that point of time, sir, it was not very clear that this many sources of orders will be there. They always assume that dine-in order will be there, right? Now you have Zomato, Swiggy, dine-in, you have some other website, ONDC orders, all of those orders are there now, right? And you have to combine all sources of order into single dashboard. Then your inventory.
So when you visualized that there is a need of software, it was a standalone software, right?
Yes.
Which can be used by a restaurant to automate their menu, their kitchen, ordering system, and
Yes.
maybe some part of inventory and some payment processing.
Yes.
Okay.
This is actually what has happened, right? You start with one particular problem. We made first thing was you get them onto cloud. You start giving them that these are the type of integration they would require. We actually started selling that idea. Tomorrow, every source of order will always be on Petpooja.
Okay.
That was the initial pitch when we started. Even in 2015, we were giving the same pitch, though we did not have any integrations.
So I understand that software helps. But when you built a software, who started preferring? Because at the end of the day, majority of the restaurants are run by the owner, right? So where did you see that the picking would be much better, or acceptance of your product would be better?
Initially, when you started to build, right, I also have to connect with whatever I'm building, right? That is how it starts. We come from SMB background. Me and
What
Apu,
is SMB?
SMB, small, medium business background, right?
Okay.
That is the background. So essentially, you are saying Vada Pav Sutta background. Honestly, that is the background I actually speak, right? I have seen when I was in late 90s, I have seen a small outlet getting run in my family. So I have seen that operation very closely, and I have seen the amount of content they had on software. Software bulky होता है. You don't want to use the software. एक और बंदा कहाँ से लाऊं उसको use करने के लिए. All of those things it will happen, right? So that was already there in mind. So SMB became the natural choice. Previously, people were using on their mobile. Then business internet became a norm, right? पहले कोई business में रखता नहीं था. Then it became कि ठीक है यार, now you are anyway ordering on Zomato. You are doing actually, you are watching videos and all of those things. So second order effect, started coming in easily कि भाई अब तो outlet पे भी चाहिए ही होगा internet. So that was one thing. Second thing which was very actually not easily visible to outside world, but it happened, was new generation started coming in the business, and they were not sitting at the billing desk.
Okay,
Right?
so you are saying that in a restaurants, it was run by the employee, not the owner.
Yes. So
And
owner
that has changed drastically the use of software, because if owner is sitting somewhere, he need to see that the things are automized, are under control, and there are checks and balance available.
True.
Okay.
So typical Gujarati businessman, right? If you are going to run a business out from outside of the business premises, you need something where you can monitor continuously. This is where actually cloud became handy, right?
Okay.
And people.
So what you are saying that I am sitting anywhere, but I still can monitor on a real-time basis because the data is hosted on cloud. So every time a billing happens, I know exactly what is going on at my restaurant, what kind of galla, right?
Yes.
What kind of galla or at the end of the day, money my restaurant is making. And if I am blessed with 3 or 4 or 5 restaurants, probably I may have a better analytics in place, right?
True.
Okay.
True. So that was the first case. Then second one was actually from the learning, right? We started with, we were very, very clear we are going to go after SMB guys, right? SMB, when you look at that point of time, you are going to go after Vada Pav outlets. So when we went into first installation, there was a challenge. Honestly, at that point of time, you need to assume that internet is going to be intermittent, right? Which meant उसका पुराना सॉफ्टवेयर या उसका पुराना जो भी बिलिंग मशीन था, whatever he was using, he was printing. In Vada Pav outlet, they print lot of bill, right? We went to an outlet to make sure that we would want to get to that kind of speed and efficiency as a software. So they were printing in 3 hours 2000 bills.
Okay.
Right? Which was through billing machine, that manual billing machine. They were only entering code 10, 101, enter. 102, enter.
But that is much easier.
Yes, exactly. But see, you have to imagine that was actually easier from a biller point of view, not from an owner point of view, because owner doesn't come to outlet. He would want best of the both the worlds, right? So what happened was, we actually went to them. We said, okay, we would make this online. You have to purchase a PC, run the software. You would be able to see online on your app what is happening in your outlet. Initially, you won't believe, at least for first 15 days, every time 11 in the night we were standing there. वो बोलता stuck हो जाता है. They were printing 2500 bills, sir. 2500 bills, internet नहीं है, फिर भी वो उसी speed से चलना चाहिए. So we had to really do hard engineering at that point of time to make sure that offline-online combo works perfectly fine.
Okay.
Right? And that is how it went. That initial learning for at least 4 or 5 clients was significantly high. Significantly. And you were talking about 2000 bills in 3 hours, 3000 bills. When you say 2000 bills in 3 hours, if 2-second difference you are counting, right? You are saying it would take 4000 seconds. And if you divide it by 60, you are saying, assuming that, simple calculation, you are saying 50 minutes extra he would require just to print the bills. That is the thought process. And people actually kept complaining, ये बहुत slow पड़ रहा है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, faster होना चाहिए, और faster होना चाहिए. This is actually how we went about the problem. So first problem was, biller का problem solve करो पहले, because he is going to get comfortable with the same thing, and he has to be comfortable. उसको 2000 bill print करने ही है, right? So that was first thing which went. And then owner के लिए तो we were very sure that it is bound to happen, because owner was not even coming outlet once in a day. तो वो तो बहुत खुश हो गया था कि यार 11 बजे he is opening an app, he is seeing कि यार बॉस क्या transaction चल रहा है, right? And it actually worked pretty nicely. Initially, this is the thought process with which we went about it.
In first phase, right? So identifying one problem, then working on a suitable product. What could be a suitable product? You don't know, but you assume that anyway that guy is without any technology product. So he does not have any expectation in mind. So whatever you go with, which sets his minimum requirement, is good to fly, right? This is what I hope would be consideration. Right?
True.
Now the point is, when you are serving a larger market, one most important thing, that the market is large, but one thing which I can tell to myself with a confidence, the level wherein I feel that there is a product market fit, that this product or this software is relevant for my customers and without much resistance, meaning that you go out of 10 customers, maybe 5 customers are okay to take it, right? Maybe the change of habit, their acceptance in putting into a regular affairs take a longer time, but there is acceptance, and then they are willing to pay. At what level you were convinced for yourself that there is a product market fit?
Good question, sir. Typically, product market fit, there is a stage, right? And product market fit also has a price component, right? Zero pay, you get certain level of distribution, certain level of usage. That might not be true actually when you increase the price, right? So वो वाला थोड़ा सा demand supply curve जैसा है, right? But I'll give you how we thought about the problem. First of all, we were very, very clear that we want to solve this problem. We created, okay, we had an hypothesis in place. We validated with few clients, and actually at least I think 200 clients, and this is what we want to do. And this is how the software would look like 10 years from now. Actually, that is the vision we created. Okay, where essentially a lot of that component came into picture from my VC job, ideally, right? That red bus story, they make the inventory online and everybody was booking on the same inventory, so everybody was aware that kitni seats available hai. All of those problems were very clear even in F&B industry, because multiple sources were order were there. It was just starting out, right? But anyway, so that problem was there. Second one was, when you start, right, you want to build first level. So we were very, very clear कि okay, 10 साल ये बनाना है. So you have a 10-year vision, but you also have 3 years के बाद 3 years पहला क्या होगा. Generally in India, at least what we have seen is people would pay the price, some small price actually. That is how you start, calculating that there is a need for your product. First 3 years we were genuinely experimenting. We were deploying, mostly free available था. We used to tell client कि यार सर देखते हैं प्राइस लाते हैं, अभी तो फ्री में यूज करो and give us a feedback. We even in that case we were onboarding 100-200 clients per month. Okay. Then the second part came into picture, which is where the integrations layer we wanted to build. And this is when we started also pricing discovery. कि भाई अब तो मैं एफर्ट डाल रहा हूँ, अब नेक्स्ट लेवल का एफर्ट शुरू हो रहा है, उस टाइम पे प्राइस डिस्कवरी चाहिए. नाउ आवर पीएमएफ जर्नी स्टार्टेड. यूजेज जर्नी सर मिल गई थी, वहां पे वी वेर वेरी, वेरी क्लियर कि यूजेज आ रहा है, बट जीरो प्राइस पे यूजेज तो कोई भी ला सकता है. यू वुड सी लॉट ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर अवेलेबल फ्री, वो 1 लाख 2 लाख यूजर पर तक पहुंच सकते हैं, बट वो इट्स नॉट अ पीएमएफ. पीएमएफ डजंट वर्क दैट वे. You need a pricing point to figure out actual में PMF क्या है.
So you tell me one thing, that means I interact with many of the founder with a software product. Most of them are in early stage. The problem which I have interfaced and or come across, most of them means 90 out of 100 startup founder built great product, but the Indian customers, whether it is enterprise software or whether it is the software meant for SMBs or the other, it's a B2B software product, the Indian customers are not willing to pay, right? If you make it free because you are invested by venture capitalist or early stage investor, if you are fortunate, right? And many of them are not fortunate. So if somebody is fortunate, the early success is there in terms of fundraising. It helps in two things. One is you can invest in technology, you can invest more money in go-to-market. Go-to-market things become easier because if people don't pay you, you still put up the product, at least use my product. See, at the end of the day, I need to go for next round. So for my next round, I need to demonstrate that maybe a 1 year back, I had a certain number of users. My user has gone maybe 5 times or 10 times, but without money, right? Eventually, the company need to generate money, and where it fails, right?
True.
Because the Indian customers, even after usage, they don't pay. So did you not worry at any point of time while you were distributing your product for free for initial year?
If you actually look at the journey, right? And then we were very, very confident actually. So 2015 or 16 where we initially brought in some pricing. That was 1,000 rupees per year. Okay. We got the similar number of client onboarded and client were happy to pay us, which meant there was a initial level of PMF in place, right? 100, 200 client new onboarding, and they were paying us 1,000 rupees, which were free actually. They were also paying now. So it started. Yes, there was a churn. Churn hota hi hai. I mean, you can't stop that churn, right? Because you start charging, they would say, "Kare, tumne to price la di," and all of those things will happen, right? But then they would go back, come back to us once again. So we saw actually कि ठीक है यार ये वापस आ रहे हैं, right? And that was a good thing for us actually, because after the price, you are correct. I mean, you getting some PMF, right? So we were new, we were very, very clear कि यार ठीक है चलो, initial offshoot of PMF is there. Now, अब second level शुरू होता है उसका. Now, PMF में there is also something called price discovery, which has to happen, right? भाई प्राइस डिस्कवरी राइट होगी तो तुम्हें पता चलेगा कि कितने ऑनबोर्ड हो रहे हैं, प्राइस मार्केट कितना बड़ा है, ऑल ऑफ दोस आंसर्स यू विल बी एबल टू गिव, राइट? व्हाट वी केप्ट डूइंग इज सर, वी एक्चुअली क्रिएटेड अ डिमांड कर्व. सो 1,000 रुपए पे कितना बिकते हैं, 2,000 रुपए, नेक्स्ट ईयर वी इंक्रीज द प्राइस टू 2,000 रुपीज, उसके बाद 5,000 रुपए. एक्चुअल प्राइस विच वी आर चार्जिंग राइट नाउ came in I think 2018 or 19.
Okay.
Right? We every point of time we kept increasing the price.
So you were charging a little, which established it much early that you are in a position to charge. Now you need to increase that per restaurant every year some more money.
Get
more
a right price discovery, right? So that is when we came to a point where okay, boss. Beyond that, when we increased, people started literally complaining a lot. Right, so when from 10,000 to 15,000 when we increased, people actually complained a lot. They called me and Apurva personally and started even abusing us. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है, कभी भी प्राइस बढ़ा देते हो, all of those things. इतना बड़ा कोई नहीं पे करेगा, you are killing yourself, all of those things. And then we knew okay, so many bad reviews is not good, right? So you need to once again come down to a decent level, which is when we came back to 10,000 and we figured out okay, 10,000 is the correct price for a base software. Even when we were charging 10,000, we kept increasing onboarding number of outlets per month, right? Literally, we were doubling literally at that point of time. At one point of time, we were actually going 3 times in onboarding new outlets, right? So it made sense that we were into PMF now. There is a product market fit available for set of customer easily. That was the initial thesis which happened. Right. The only thing which I would want to, from your, a new entrepreneur point of view, and there is in Indian market, SMB market, there is something called trust. You would require to gain some trust, right? That is the first and foremost thing. And
so Parthiv, so let's assume there could be some viewers who like to start the food business, right? Out of cloud kitchen or maybe a restaurant. If to viewers and some of them, if you want to pitch your software, how would you do that? In a simple terms, how your software will bring what value to them?
We make outlet completely online.
Okay.
Right. When we say we make outlet completely online, we are saying not just sales tracking, but even now you can even have your complete profit and loss completely online.
So if I set up a cloud kitchen, if I use your software, what I need to do, I need to upload my menu, my pricing, and then I am distributed on all food delivery portal.
Yes.
Zomato, Swiggy, Dineout, anybody, right?
Everybody.
And then this software enable me to maintain my inventory.
It is an outlet ERP, right?
Okay.
But the pitch is slightly different, sir, right? When we say we are doing now, so and now pitch is different than 4 years ago, right?
No. What is current pitch,
current
right?
pitch,
For
right?
example.
So, and this is actually how we tell our client now, boss, you take my ERP, my payroll, and my invoice, right? All three products. Your business, we are your complete business OS. Everything is automated. ERP, so the first pause makes it easy for you to track sales from every angle. Zomato, Swiggy, Dine-in, ONDC, wherever it is coming, actually you will be able to track. Inventory gets managed, or a kitchen setup gets managed. That's the first thing. Second thing, your payroll product makes sure that all employee related stuff gets automated.
Okay.
They need to just punch in payroll and everything would be done automatically, right? That's the second thing. Third thing, expense management. Whatever vendor bills you are getting, you take a photo, it gets pushed into Petpooja, and you know your profit and loss and in detail, completely automated.
Right.
You don't need to do anything. So your business is completely online. We have made it completely automated now. No human intervention. I'm using word no human intervention. Software after Bhagwan, only software comes.
Okay.
And that is where it is going to be, right? And this is our pitch. Most of the competition you would see in the market, see, honestly, sir, there is this thing, right? Bezos, there's a statement from Bezos that you have to think ahead by 3 years at least. Now he is saying 5 years at least, right? Which is he's correct actually. 3 to 5 years you have to think ahead, right? And this is actually what we have done. 3 years के बाद क्या चलेगा? We were building OS story in 2017. ठीक है, वो सारे इंटीग्रेशन लाओ हम ही लेके जा रहे थे, all of those things. It started playing out for us in 2021. Even when my competition, largest two competition, was getting funded by miles ahead of us. And we were still ruling the market.
What Petpooja looks like as of now? What is the size as of now? In terms of whatever you want to describe, then I will follow up with the questions. And then maybe 3 to 5 years, how would you visualize?
We are now actually live with 80,000 plus odd outlets.
Okay.
We are at revenue run rate significantly higher. We are the largest SMB SaaS play in India currently. We are the largest one. There is not even a horizontal software which is nearer to us, a horizontal SaaS, SMB SaaS software which is near to us. That is how we are, right? That is how we have been. And actually we have raised very little money and we have still grown it, a larger company. Indian market, we are growing, sir, for sure, right? However, we have been building for a global market for some time. Only pause probably is going to be very competitive market even outside of India. Okay. Today we also have actually 500 outlets in UAE and 50 plus outlets in.
So, but getting into, of course, means the offshore customer pay well, unlike Indian customer, though they are paying now to you. But standalone, your product can do that well in the other markets.
So once again, sir, right? Competition is genuinely high in those markets.
The competition is there, but the point is, if I am in USA, right? Probably I have better ability to charge. I would be holding sizable market, right? But at the end of the day, I would have all kind of integration with me, right? From food delivery suppliers to the accounting, to taxation, to analytics, to the payment processing, to the loyalty, coupon, aggregation, running multiple offers, other stuff, right? So maybe you hold around 200, 250 integration. So maybe in USA market somebody else has done. So if you go as a standalone product, it can be great. But the point is, product can exist in that market if you have a similar integration.
True.
So how is it easy or difficult to do that for you in that developed market?
So, sir, once again, right? If I go as a standalone product, pause alone, generally you would find a lot of competition. First of all, thankfully, that market is still very, very virgin in terms of doing a lot of integration.
Okay, so as of now, you are holding maybe 200, 250 integration. That is not the case in USA based
So
or a
people
developed
do
market product?
integration, sure, but if you actually, so there is this thing, right? Even for aggregators, they use separate tablet,
Okay. So it
and
is not a unified
it is
product.
not actually coming into your POS because वो POS के इंटीग्रेशन भी ज्यादा चार्ज लेते हैं कि भाई इंटीग्रेशन करने के लिए ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, राइट? एंड थैंकफुली वी हैड उबर ईट्स का इंटीग्रेशन इन इंडिया, तो वी न्यू कि इंटीग्रेशन क्वालिटी भी क्या है वहां पे. तो it is not that difficult to do anyway. We are now actually anyway mostly aggregators are
So jokingly, I always tell my founders that if you can make money in India in software product, of course, because that is the hardest customer you have encountered, right? So naturally, one should have a better ability, but the ground reality is always something for a product to product would be different.
generally if you look at SMB market and typically what we have seen is सर जोहो का वही सॉफ्टवेयर जो वो यूएस में बेचते हैं वो इंडिया में बेचते हैं, which meant actually utility of a product is there across the region now, right?
Correct.
Same applies to even every software. पहले ऐसा होता था कि नहीं मुझे मेरा ही सॉफ्टवेयर चाहिए. Cloud has really taken away that kind of shit from the market कि भाई नहीं ये भाई हमें हमारा process probably sometimes you need to modify according to software.
So what is your experience? Because now you said that I have already a certain customer base in the other market, with the market you have picked, right? So what is the experience so far? Are these customers or restaurants are happy vis-a-vis what the competition there in the market? Because that will decide that how fast you can scale.
Currently, they are
Yes.
very happy,
Okay.
right? And they're paying us actually more,
Much higher than
much
what
higher
Indian
than,
customers
yes,
can
much
pay.
higher than at least 10 times you can safely assume, right? That is what we are getting paid. And even current level of support which we are giving from offshore, right? From here, right? They are very happy, very happy. तो वो problem तो वैसे भी नहीं है सर. I think from an approach point of view that is not the problem. Actually SMB market same ही दिखता है, and you don't start suddenly, so you have to actually once again there also you have to find a niche, then once again वो niche थोड़ी बड़ी करो, then you start getting bigger, right? अगर मैं वो पहले ही बड़ा मार्केट भागने जाऊंगा actually possible है कि मैं सीधा अपने फेस पे नीचे आऊं. That's not how we want to go. We are very clear कि इंडियन आउटलेट है उसको पहले niche figure out करते हैं. We have so many clients here in Ahmedabad जिनके एक्चुअली मास्टर फ्रेंचाइजीज वहां पे है.
Okay, so
वो
you,
एक
that are easier target.
yeah, easier target already, right? So we have new Friesland there. जो यहाँ पे है वहां पे हम लेके बैठे हैं. चॉइस हमारे पास आया अभी वहां का, राइट? यहाँ पे तो हम ऑलरेडी थे, तो वो easier है हमारे लिए क्रैक करना.
Even those players, even they are Indian, but having the brand penetration there as well. So they would have experienced anyway those existing domestic products there, right?
So that is why they are coming to us and saying.
So their experience with those products was poor, and then they shifted.
So they two things, right? It is actually.
So they are experiencing your product here in India and some other product in the other market, and could have seen the difference.
Yes. So they are saying here that the price point what they are providing is not matching.
Okay.
Right. Which means actually there is a genuine need of player who can come in between easily. Right.
So if you scale up in that market, then you would be hurting the competitors
Lot,
right, in terms of their revenue.
Lot for sure. Right. So that is one thing, right? From coming back to 3 to 5 years wala stuff. Very honestly, we are going to go for every problem, right? Currently we do not have. So every SMB product, you from a product SaaS point of view, SaaS is almost we are sorting now, right? And we would add more SaaS product for sure going forward, and most of them would have AI component or AI in it will be core will be AI. That is how you will see, right? So let's say Petpooja, for Petpooja core product, we are now building an API agent ecosystem. Why do you have a BI tool where everything is predefined, widgetized? Instead of that, you write a problem and it will generate a graph, table, whatever you would want. You can actually build. This is what we are building right now, right? And it would be much easier, much more interactive for clients. Bhai, wo likh raha hai problem and you are getting those things done, right? So those will become tomorrow a natural interfaces for a client, right? They would be the core interaction platforms actually, and it would happen across the products, and most of them would have either a core AI or at least AI components built into them, right? More processes will get automated. पहले हम सिर्फ pause का कर रहे थे. Payroll started happening for us actually. Then expense management started happening for us, right? All of them actually now probably accounting and compliance would also become a part of it actually slowly, right? This is how it will move. And then fintech layer would come into picture. Now imagine sir, इसके बाहर तो वैसे भी कुछ नहीं है. You are doing, I am doing POS, I am doing payroll, I am doing expense management. बताओ मेरे पास from a client point of view, everything is inside this. I can build a finance ka layer, I can build literally anything, accounting layer, I can build everything inside on a top of it. Right? And this is what I want to do, not just for Indian customer, I want to do for global customer, all customer, literally all the customer. And that is the thought process.
No, let me admit and even appreciate the things which I, as a layman, observe in the market. So, anywhere, any city, if I go to a restaurant, if I happen to see the bill or something or ask them what the software they use, invariably it's Petpooja. So, credit goes to you. Many of the restaurant take a proud because I could see on their wall some certificate lying that Petpooja. What is that certificate?
We participated. Generally, we don't participate in events. Correct. There was once the event we sponsored it, Times Food Festival.
Correct.
Which actually,
but I could see in some of the restaurant, even in Bangalore, some Chennai, some other place. So they take a pride. I am Petpooja has awarded me this certificate and other stuff, and they put it in frame and take a pride about it. Good restaurants as well, right? So your name is visible across the spectrum. Whether it is at least the restaurant take a pride in that. So they are not only the user of your software product, but once they recognized, and many of them are yet not recognized, but they still aspire to be, I guess, that when they would achieve a Petpooja award. So I will tell you some of my experiences while listening to PCSO as a startup. So one startup pitched to me, created a great loyalty business. So couponing, loyalty for restaurant markets, other things. I said, what is your go-to market? He said, I will go and plug in with the Petpooja. Somebody came and pitched me that I have created a great accounting software which helps in all accounting part and GST filing part and other things. I said, how would you scale up? Then he said, I will go and integrate with Petpooja. Then I come across one startup entrepreneur who said that I am helping the smaller businesses to do advertisement, like through local social media marketing, Instagram and Facebook and other stuff, right? And I help in creating this stuff, and I help in running and he has created a fantastic product. And the customer can decide his budget, territory, and everything, and then he runs the campaign, and then all analytics are in place. So I said, how will you scale up? He said, I will integrate with Petpooja. Then there would be maybe thousands of restaurants will be using it. Then I come across one guy who had created some great product SKUs for restaurant industries. Then I said, can you be a restaurant don't pay you, and the distribution cost is huge, right? So when there is no margin, how will you make money? He said, I will list on Petpooja. So the point is the kind of people, at least in a startup community, who are experimenting some product for restaurant industry or some other industry, right? When they think of a restaurant industry, they think of Petpooja. So credit goes to you, certainly. But tell me one thing, that from a product market fit days, when you were experimenting, penetrating into a restaurant, of course, without revenue, right? Because it was more of a standalone product with few integration. Gradually, you kept on growing because the restaurant needed you, notwithstanding the integration. But over a period of time, for few integration, you were after many of the players, right? But after a certain point of time, the things was other way around. So tell me about the journey that from that initial struggle to the scaling up, how you experienced.
So there are three phases we divide our life till this point of time. First phase was you build a core product in the cloud and make sure that support layer, right, which is required. So sir, in SMB, typically, they would require handholding, right? And if you actually look at their older software, right? Those guys where when you call them for a support, they used to take days. कल आऊंगा, परसों आऊंगा, वैसा वाला, right? While the problem is right now, right? And till tomorrow that problem might not exist. वो restart कर देगा भाई पूरा, right? तो we were very very clear कि boss पहली चीज उसको चाहिए सॉफ्टवेयर अप एंड रनिंग. सेकेंड थिंग यू वुड रिक्वायर वो क्लाउड वाला, राइट, विच इज बिलर एंड ओनर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सॉर्टेड. नाउ सेकेंड थिंग यू वुड रिक्वायर सपोर्ट का लेयर इन बिल्ट इनटू दिस थिंग, राइट? सो प्रोडक्ट is not separate from support. In SMB at least, I know for sure, it has to be part of the product. Support has to be part of the product. So we have built so many tools for support, even at the point of time initially, that my support cost is low. That is first thing. Second thing, any point of time, my callback, if I miss call, I get a missed call from customer, my callback is within 15 minutes. Right? सर इतना तो एयरटेल या कोई और का कॉल सेंटर है ना सपोर्ट नहीं कर पाता. दैट इज व्हाट वी आर सपोर्टिंग राइट नाउ इट एट अ स्केल. इवन टुडे द सेम SLA वी हैव मेंटेन. सो दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग. ये लेयर वाज सॉलिड. दैट स्टार्टेड बिल्डिंग अ ट्रस्ट फॉर कस्टमर, राइट? Then the pricing experiment started. Trust already built tha. Pricing experiment started. People actually stayed back and they started paying more. Second level of the product evolution, which is the OS story, which is where you start doing a lot of integration. Once again, sir, SMB में we were very very clear कि boss अगर integration fail होता है, first port of call मुझ पे ही आना चाहिए. Reasoning, see, software में जब even you as a software guy, techie, you go there, right? You would always say कि यार सामने साइड से फेल हुआ है. That is not the approach we have taken. भाई मेरा कस्टमर SMB ओनर है, right? If he has done 5 integration, तो वो पेट पूजा को कॉल करेगा, मैं बोलूंगा कि भाई जोमेटो में कॉल कर, फिर कल स्विगी का प्रॉब्लम है स्विगी को कॉल कर, कल किसी और का प्रॉब्लम है किसी और को कॉल कर. अगर वो 5 जगह पे कॉल ही करने हैं, हाउ इज ही गोइंग टू मैनेज हिज ऑपरेशंस? वी से कि भाई ओके बॉस हमें कॉल कर, वी वुड कम बैक एंड वी विल टेल यू कि यार किसका प्रॉब्लम है. ओके, एंड वी वुड मेक श्योर कि वी रेज द क्वेरी टू दोस गाइस कि बॉस ये प्रॉब्लम है, सीआरएम में ये प्रॉब्लम है, इस वेबसाइट में ये प्रॉब्लम आ रहा था बॉस, प्लीज हेल्प अस फिक्स द प्रॉब्लम. Right? So customer is more inclined to work with us, and even partner was more inclined to work with us. Okay. Right? Once you grow in scale and simultaneously you do those many integration, then the network effect starts. फिर जैसे आपने बताया, right? Everybody wanted to work with us and they wanted distribution through us. Right? Okay. And it started happening for us. Because we were not the only one who was pitching Petpooja to prospective customer. Even this ecosystem guys were pitching Petpooja to prospective customers. कि सर Petpooja लगा दो, उसके साथ तो हमारा इंटीग्रेशन बहुत परफेक्ट चल रहा है. Right? Understood. And it started then giving us significant network effect. That network effect took some time. ऐसा नहीं था कि 2015-17 से जब हम बिल्ड कर रहे थे तभी हुआ था. It started coming in 2021 onwards. Right, 20 में तो कोविड आ गया, तो 21 onwards we saw that played out very very significantly. So very.
So as of now you have 80,000 restaurant base. What is the market available in India?
So if
in terms of the numbers of the
number of outlets is probably you are talking about 25 lakh outlets.
25 outlets.
Yes, at least 25 lakh outlets. If you look at the software ready market today, even in India, would be actually 8 lakh के around होगा आराम से. Right? एंड क्लाउड, उसमें से क्लाउड वाला मार्केट जो हम अभी सर्व कर रहे हैं, राइट, यू आर सेइंग प्रोबेबली 1 लाख के अराउंड का ही टोटल मार्केट होगा. 1 लाख क्लाउड डिप्लॉयमेंट टुडे आर एग्जिस्टेंट. सो हमारे पास इवन जो सॉफ्टवेयर रेडी मार्केट है 8 लाख में, वहां पे भी यू हैव 7 लाख मोर कस्टमर टू ऑनबोर्ड फॉर श्योर. दिस इज वन रीजन कि अगर आप मेरा ऑनबोर्डिंग देखोगे ना, एवरी मंथ वॉट एवर न्यू कस्टमर वी आर ऑनबोर्डिंग, इट हैज नॉट स्लो डाउन yet.
So not slow down is fine, but pace of growth has also increased, or it is the same?
Yeah. So
because now your base would be high, maybe 80,000. If we look at 8 lakhs market, is still small.
Sure.
But what could be a pace of growth? It's still in the same when you were 10,000 restaurant and growing, or it has slowed down?
So 2 things, sir. Because we sell now more ARPUs from the same customer, right? That is how we have focused on. It has still increased, right? While ARPU has also increased, and it has still.
ARPU means what? you charge.
Average revenue per user, right?
So your user means restaurant. So
yes,
average
outlet. We say outlet, right? So average revenue per outlet kept increasing for us, and we still onboard more client on us, right? Which means there is market is also growing for us, right? If I would have kept the same price, probably I would have done more addition, right? But even with a higher price, I am doing more, which also says the market is still available. There is a depth in the market. Even there, I want to highlight कि people thought that tier 1, tier 2 से ही outlet आएंगे, right? ऐसा नहीं हुआ सर. You actually go to Morbi today in Gujarat, or let's say Gaya in Bihar, which is on Bihar and Nepal की border पे, वहाँ पे भी we have now 60-70 odd outlets, right? All three tier 3.
How did they get to know about you?
Sir, typically this is one thing where we have seen it. So I got a call from 2 days ago. बरेली के बाजू में एक छोटा सा टाउन है, वहां से कस्टमर वांटेड के पेट पूजा का डेमो मिल जाएगा मुझे. दिस इज हाउ आई गॉट अ कॉल.
Very good.
राइट, एंड इट इज नाउ नेचुरल फॉर अस कि इनिशियली वी वर पुशिंग, राइट, लॉट ऑफ एफओएस फोकस, सेल्स फोकस बहुत था हमारा, राइट. बट जब वो नेटवर्क इफेक्ट आना शुरू हुई ना, इट वाज नॉट जस्ट ओनली इनटू टॉप टीयर और टीयर 1, टीयर 2 टाउन्स में नहीं था. वो एक्चुअली इट स्टार्टेड गोइंग बिकॉज जोमेटो स्विगी आल्सो एक्सपांडेड टू 1000 सिटीज. तो ऑटोमेटिकली वहां पे पेट पूजा का एक्सपांशन ऑटोमेटिक होने लगा. इट बिकेम एविडेंटली क्लियर कि अच्छा टीयर 3 टाउन में भी जोमेटो के ऑर्डर आ रहे हैं, हम जाके ये पिच मारने के जोमेटो स्विगी के साथ इंटीग्रेट कर. नाउ दे हैव रिक्वायरमेंट भी टेली के साथ करना है, सीआरएम के साथ करना है, वेबसाइट करनी है, ये सब होने लगा, राइट. एंड जस्ट टू गिव यू अ क्लैरिटी हियर, 80% of our clientele out of 80,000, right? 80% is connected to outside world. Not, it could be Zomato, it could be Swiggy, it could be Tele, it could be anything, literally anything, right? That is how it is connected right now. So cloud का जो major advantage था, that played out massively for us, very very massively for us, right? And then the third part of the journey, which was actually we were very very clear कि यार भगवान के बाद सॉफ्टवेयर एंड मैथ्स, राइट. अल्टीमेटली मैथ्स भी सॉफ्टवेयर में ही आने वाला है. तो एआई पार्ट प्लेड आउट आल्सो वेरी क्लियरली फॉर अस. व्हेन वी वर डूइंग दैट जर्नी, नोबडी वाज थिंकिंग अबाउट इट. ऑटोमेटिकली हम अब इनवॉइस अलोन एज अ प्रोडक्ट वो 400 बेचना शुरू कर दिया. सेकेंड मंथ वी सोल्ड 400 सच लाइसेंसेस एक्चुअली इन द मार्केट. यू डोंट सेल एज एन एआई प्रोडक्ट, यू सेल कि भैया ये तेरा वर्कफ्लो डिजिटाइज हो रहा है, तो फोटो ले, ऑटोमेटिकली डिजिटाइज होगा and it automatically gets pushed to Petpooja. That's it. ये pitch started playing out well. Similarly, payroll. We told client कि यार तुम ये हार्डवेयर लगा रहे हो, ये इतना बड़ा हार्डवेयर जो महंगा आता है, and then you connect with the software and all of those things. We will give you a dumb hardware where you onboard through a app which is going to be Petpooja. Simplest onboarding. तुम्हारा मैनेजर या तुम्हारा बिलर भी कर सकता है. That is the problem we went after. Automatically, there also we are doing now 800-900 new installations per month.
Wow, great.
Right? And it played out well, sir. So, very, very clearly, even in market, there is a depth available. And you would see that AI story also playing out for us massively down the line. And which is going to be third phase of the growth. Right? For us, for a lot of these guys, कि software सिर्फ software नहीं होगा, SaaS सिर्फ SaaS नहीं होगा, it is going to be AI SaaS. Right? Anyway, software है तो ठीक है. I mean, you're going to see that things playing out massively, for sure in the future. Workflow digitization कहीं नहीं जा रहा है. People want to build for whatever problem, right? They want to build for a revenue generating problem. They want to build for improving efficiency वाला problem. Whatever problem you choose, software would play massively in all of those problems. All of those problems.
So now my questions are simple other than Petpooja because these are much relevant. What is your background? And then of course the background will tell exactly why did you choose that path if it is relevant. So can you tell about yourself and your co-founder?
I actually did engineering from Gujarat, Parthiv Patel University to be specific. Apurva was 1 year senior to me, same college. We knew each other from the college, engineering college days. So we were like really very close at that point of time, at least 10 years before we started the company. Right? So we knew each other for that much amount of time. That was the first thing. Second thing, then I went and worked with Wipro. Cisco was the client. That was the first brush with a larger configurable platform. I used to work on Cisco ka iOS, right, which used to go into switches, right. Uh, same OS was deployed across various products, right. Most configurable thing anywhere in the world is operating system. That saw a seeds for me actually. How do you look at, let's say, POS ka market? This is why the OS story came into picture, right? कि यार most configurable platform OS है, तो OS बनानी है, right? That is how, you know, it actually, that is how that Wipro job or Cisco job helped me. Technical base उस product उस time पे बना था सर. Then I went and did my MBA from IIM Lucknow to be specific, and post that I have actually worked with couple of VC fund. Once again, the clarity after what I want to do, right? After my MBA, what I want to do, I got it from my first job with GVFL. Honestly,
You know, I personally saw you working, at least in job market, nobody works maybe 15 hours a day. You used to do that. You used to do in a Saturday, Sunday, everywhere. So the point is, the kind of putting hard work was there. But
we have seen a lot. हम almost बंद होते होते तो at least 5-6 बार एटलीस्ट इस जर्नी में भी 8 से 10 साल की जर्नी में या 12 साल की जर्नी में वी हैव सीन एक्चुअली वी वर ऑलमोस्ट क्लोजिंग वी वर लाइक अबाउट टू क्लोज ऑलमोस्ट एवरी 2 years, राइट. तो वो तो पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ द लाइफ है ही है. यू कांट डू अवे विद दैट, यू नो. वो कहीं नहीं जा रहा है.
No, no, it goes without saying.
Right.
When you are a leader and if you keep on growing, at one point of time, even if you saturate the market, the point is your market promotion expenses will go down substantially. Then software earning would be free flow to support that, because at the end of the day, technology works for itself. So you need to have a similar manpower which you have, even from at 10x of the operations, I guess. And at that point of time, there is a huge the margin, profits, and everything is available to you and
Leverage
your
generally,
investors, right?
yeah, leverage generally plays out. So.
Operating leverage plays
Yeah,
out very well,
plays out.
and I've seen in technology companies that happens.
That
So,
happens.
are you profitable as of now, or what?
Almost near to profitability, sir.
Okay.
Almost near to profitability, because the profitability slightly got delayed.
So now the newer customer base which are expanding further, they will add to your profit, or still you need to
Okay,
spend
so-
in more product development and other things.
So we currently, right, you select, we are actually in between somewhere, right. We want more growth too. Right?
Okay, in other geographies as well.
In other geographies, in India,
India.
multiple products, right. So we are anyway investment phase तो नहीं जाने देंगे. If Amazon or Google can have, let's say, 20-year का phase, actually investment phase, we want to also do it. Sure, you can't burn. I mean, I don't have a luxury of burning money for sure, which means I have to be judicious about it, right. So वो तो, I mean, it is part and parcel of the life now. But I would also hit the higher growth actually from here on, and obviously we are very near to profitability, which means I would actually at some point of time in this year itself, I would show you a break even easily. At least last 6 months should be actually profitable for us as far as Petpooja is concerned, for sure.
Very good.
Right. So that is what we would hit anyway.
In your opinion, while sharing to a potential startup founder, what will be your advice? And I want your answer in twofold. One is, when a startup founder should be convinced that it is a product market fit. And the second thing is, when they should convince themselves without any bias, without any emotion, that yes, there is a product market fit and it is scalable. So, with your experience, I want that insight.
The answer is slightly simpler. And I would actually answer hotel and grocery wale problem also, sir. We have actually seen all of them very closely. We work with a lot of those guys anyway. So first thing is, ideally PMF is felt, right? There is no per se standard or something like that. However, if you ask us, if your software and is, because you are a SaaS model typically, what happens is every year you have to increase the price or increase the ARPU for the customer, right? If you are able to do that without losing many customers and you are still getting more customers in your fold, that is a right PMF.
Okay.
Right.
So either you can contribute into their revenue growth, or you help in saving certain things.
Anyway,
In terms
software
of
does
efforts, in terms
yeah.
of money.
Software does that thing only, right? भगवान के बाद anyway software ही आता है,
correct,
right? तो वो वाला तो point है ही नहीं. But
पर वो तो कोई भी सॉफ्टवेयर करे. आपने बनाया, मैंने कॉपी
so
मारा.
which is where, so let's say if I am giving 0 price का software, next year I increase the price to let's say $2,000, right? And still I am able to onboard more clients, and my older clients are paying me. That is PMF, right? If you are paying, let's say if you are doing 5,000 rupees software, and a year down the line you are now actually charging $10,000 or let's say $7,000 or whatever bucks, right? You're increasing the price. You are still onboarding more clients, and the clients who are using at older price and still coming back and paying you more. Yes, that is a correct thing, right? Which is, I think this is a much easier definition to go after. Then your pain point, right? You are targeting is correct, or is it like we generally, when we look at idea, there are two approaches to look at: need या sexy, right? You have a need of something where you are willing to pay, right? You have to pay. There is no other option. But if the idea is sexy, then he would okay आज pay भी कर ले, but then you are not clear कि यार वो उसके लिए वापस आके pay करेगा कि नहीं, right? So this is actually what we are looking at it. Every time you look at sexy or need, simple, right? And you define it clearly.
So you focused on need.
That is the only way. So we were very, very clear when we looked at it. Okay, भाई उसको बिल बनाने के लिए कुछ तो चाहिए होगा, right? कुछ तो बनाना ही पड़ेगा सर. 2000 ऐसे तो हाथ से तो लिख नहीं पाएगा बंदा 2000 बिल. तो which means now you are saying कि बिल अब उसकी ओनर की नीड देख लेते हैं कि भाई वो आउटलेट पे नहीं होता तो उसको देखने के लिए कुछ चाहिए होगा, which meant क्लाउड वाला हो चाहिए, right? That is the second most important validation. And then Zomato, Swiggy and all of those guys kept growing for us. So next level of the only India, the reason why owners don't pay is, and you see a lot of this competition coming in, differentiation. If there are 10,000 customers, and you are saying, let's say 10,000 such companies who are going to pitch them some software. Now, how do you differentiate? Customer को कौन सा याद रहने वाला है sir? Right? If you actually look at it, when we were deploying, I told you 2015 से हम बोल रहे थे कि यार Zomato का order भी Food Panda का order इस पे आएगा.
At that point of time,
yes, Food Panda was there, right? तो Food Panda का order इस पे आएगा, and they were saying कि अच्छा इस पे आएगा. Orders started coming in 2017-18 by the way, integration तो तभी हुआ था. But when we were pitching, our pitch was actually much more different than typical SaaS वाला pitch. कि भाई मैं तुम्हारा सब कुछ ऑनलाइन कर लूंगा, तुम्हें सिर्फ ऐप पे दिखा. हम तो बोलते थे ऐप पे तो दिखेगा, बट वी आर सेइंग कि भाई फूड पांडा का ऑर्डर भी इस पे ही आएगा.
Understood.
Right? That made lot of these guys a lot of sense, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे फूड पांडा has just started giving the order and they were still not able to manage कि यार ये ऑर्डर मैन्युअली डालना पड़ता है, तो बिलर को भी ये हिट होता था, ओनर को भी ये हिट होना शुरू हो गया. Right? And it actually started playing that differentiation role.
So good, Parthiv. It was an interesting conversation. I hope we can do you can do well, and hopefully, because the point is that is what I can hear from the market, that Petpooja is leader and growing faster, and you have done incredible things. You and your team, it's commendable with the kind of resources you have put in and the kind of impact you have created, and the kind of sustainable business model. It will inspire many of the young entrepreneurs. At least, hopefully, in 5 years from down the line, we will see a much bigger Petpooja, a story going to the world and creating the similar impact in the other markets. So, all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
It was an interesting conversation. So, we will conclude now. We have taken much time than what we have anticipated, but it was interesting conversation. And since Parthiv is here, we took it liberty for the benefit of the viewers. I personally learned a lot while interacting with many of the founders. Parthiv was one of them. We wish all the best to Parthiv. And we wish that out of India, one company emerges which can create a very, very, very large impact. Of course, Petpooja is a leader in this segment. In other markets, since he has penetrated, we wish him all the best that he can rule. and 5 years from now, it becomes such a large enterprises. So thanks, Parthiv. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me. This is my first podcast. So obviously, I wanted to get my story
No,
out.
you registered for this podcast. I should thank you. You came all along, and it is certainly helpful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.